Michael Gove's new Renters Reform Bill is an extraordinary attack on landlords.
Section 21, or so-called no-fault evictions, would be banned, the Conservatives pledged in their 2019 manifesto.
Is that more and more landlords will simply think that letting their properties out is not worth the candle. They'll sell them.
At the end of no-fault evictions, you guys obviously support that.
We do support it.
The Renters Reform Bill has been passed after months and months of arguing and backwards and forwards. And the big question laying on most landlords and tenants alike's mind is this change going to be positive or negative? If you go by a quick Google search, these are some of the headlines on the news that are coming up straight away. Property 118 are saying Renters Reform Bill unfairly targets landlords. So that is going on a negative stance for landlords. If you look here as well on Landlord Today, pets and rent or reform, a growing worry for landlords. Again, more negative stances on that. And The Guardian are leading with how Michael Gove's new deal for renters reform went sour. So in this video, what we're going to do is going to go over some of the finalised changes and then ultimately see, is this a disaster at the end of landlords, or is this a massive opportunity? So at the end, we're going to go through what my thoughts are and my opinions, ultimately just my opinions. But before we get to the end, if you get value from my videos, it helps tremendously if you could just hit that like button and share this out to somebody you feel will get value also. So if you're not familiar with the Renters Reform Bill, have a watch of this video here. I've done a video going more in depth on that there. I'm not going to go too much in depth on the whole thing, but basically as a high level view, the tenant rights people and activists have really lobbied the government and Conservative government put together a bill quite a few years ago now to start changing things. Initially, the first draft of that was very negative, and there's lots of backs and forwards since with there, but it seems to be they've come to some sort of agreement with this now, and this is the latest update and what's going to be pushed through, so we're going to discuss that here. One of the biggest things on the agenda, one of the biggest things that are worrying landlords, and which I'm going to give my opinion on later on, is the no-fault evictions. So they are going forward with this to push through. If you don't understand what a no-fault eviction is, basically it's called a Section 21. So the property that you own as a landlord, if you want to take that property back, you've got two choices. You can either serve a Section 21, which is a no-fault eviction, or you can serve a Section 8. Basically, what most landlords use no-fault evictions for, and myself included, is to rush people through the process of getting them out of your property. Because like myself included, most landlords are not looking to get tenants out, maybe just to raise the rent £25 or something silly like that, or because they don't want to do any repairs. They are fewer and further between. The large majority of landlords want just paying tenants. They don't want turnovers in their property. And the main reason the large majority of landlords use Section 21 as opposed to Section 8, which is a fault conviction where you have to take it to court to prove why they're making a fault or whatever reason it is because of speed. The time it takes to go through the court system is just too long. So you're better off doing a no-fault eviction, getting them out and getting your property back. Where if somebody's in arrears and they know how to play the system, what they can do is turn up on the day, update their arrears. If they're not more than 8 weeks behind, you can't kick them out, or they can say you didn't do a repair and it gets kicked out of court and you have to take this process through again, go back to court and prove it, and you can't prove it on the day. So it's just a headache going through a Section 8. But the reality is the removal of this, as long as there's a system in to get tenants out quicker if they're causing problems, is not going to be a major problem. But that's where the debate lies, and at the moment the debate's lying right in the middle. Landlords at the moment don't seem very happy. I think it's saying over 50% of landlords, can't remember the exact statistics, are worried about this bill coming in. Now tenants and the tenant lobbying activists are still also worried about this bill, so it's not winning with anybody at the moment. Also, some other major headlines on this is pets and not being able to discriminate against pets. So landlords have to give a more stronger reason to say no. They just can't say no to pets, which in my opinion is not a bad thing. I've always accepted pets. I find when you let people go into a house, decorate it within reason, have a pet within reason. Obviously, if the pet's suitable to that property, you can't let somebody have a dog in a flat that at least says you can't have dogs in, or massive animals with no garden and things like that. But within reason, if people want to make a home of it, that's including decorating and pets, I allow them to do it as long as you monitor it. And one of the things they're putting in place with this to say is your insurance may increase as a result of the pets in there. So you are allowed to pass that cost on. So myself personally, I don't think that's a bad thing. Let them have pets. Make sure your insurance covers any damage the pets caused by that, and then pass that cost on to them, and you're allowed to do that. There's also the new redress scheme and the national database for landlords still going ahead. All this is coming coming in. And again, I don't think it's a bad thing. We monitor people correct. I feel it may be abused by some tenants just trying to play the system. This is the danger of it. Tenants, again, going back to the no fault eviction, who know how to play the system, just play that system. At the moment, I don't feel that's a majorly bad thing, but as long as it doesn't get abused by like professional tenants playing the system. And one of the big ones was the open-ended rents. And again, there is we'll come back to that, some of the positives on the side of it. The open-ended rents means you cannot no longer give a 6-month tenancy agreement. It's got to be open-ended unless you're selling the property. You've got a real reason to take it back. And you also are going to be limited to how often you increase the rents. But in my experience, nobody increases the rents 3 or 4 times a year anyway. I just increase it with the market as that's going up. And a tenant's also going to have the right to question that increase if it's out of line with the market. But they do have to prove it's out of line with the market, which again, I don't think is a bad thing. So that's a general gist of it. As I said, watch the other video to go more in depth of it. The bill has got some major landlord-friendly amendments to it. So let's cover these landlord-friendly amendments that they've done. So with the no fault eviction, what they've said is it's got to go through the court system first of all before and get a really process. Because that's, going back to what I said a minute ago, I don't mind sending further in Section 8 as long as it don't get dragged through court. So little things like if somebody falls into arrears 3 times, no matter if they top their money back up, you can just get them out very quickly, like in 2 weeks' time. If somebody's antisocial and it can be proved, you can get them out a lot quicker. So as long as what they're proposing with the new way to do it, I think that's absolutely fine. You've got no reason to want to kick tenants out unless they're just being bad tenants. One of the changes they did impose before was the no minimum 6-month tenancy before. They just said a tenant can move in and move out when they want. So theoretically, somebody could use your property as a short-term let. They could move in for 2 weeks and say, hey, I don't want the property anymore, and there was no consequences to that. They're now saying there is a minimum 6 months. So that's more favourable to the landlords. And again, going back to this open-ended rents with no end dates on these. So what they're doing is they're capping that with students, which again is favourable. I've not got the student properties myself, but this is massively favourable for student landlords, because if a tenant doesn't have to give notice at the end of term, they could just drag their heels. You're not officially allowed to get them out, and then you could miss the uplift of the next term and lose lots and lots of money. So they make an exception on this rule for student lets. Of course, all the tenant groups are unhappy about this. Most landlords are unhappy about this, but I'm not too unhappy about this at the moment. I feel sectors do need to be monitored a little bit. I feel they go OTT with it, but the main one for me with the fault eviction, I get rent insurance anyway. So it doesn't matter if it goes through a fault eviction or a no fault eviction, I pass it over to the rent insurance. So I haven't heard this yet, but maybe there's an increase on the premium, but I don't mind. They can just deal with that. So I'm not too worried either way with this. I feel it will just create more opportunity. It will scare off some amateur investors. So it will create more opportunity in my eyes. And at the moment, we're in a massive buyer's market because everybody's sitting on the sidelines because of the taxation that's come in, the government attack on us, because of this renters reform bill, because the interest rates have gone up. There's a lot of people now sitting on the sidelines thinking, is property worth it? But even homeowners, because we're not sure, the market dipped a little bit, then it stabilized, and then it dipped again, and people are not sure are the rate's going to go down. So at the moment, it's a massive buying opportunity, and as long as you've got a long-term vision on this and a long-term plan, over the long term, it's going to be a great investment in my opinion. But if you want to go more into this to see is buy-to-let dead and what strategies you should be doing, have a watch of this video here. If you're still here, thank you very much. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, make a comment below, tell me what your views are. Really helps this page if you get value from it, if you can engage on there, share this out. My wife's living my terms. I'm wishing to help as many people live on their terms using property as a vehicle. So if you could share this to somebody you think will get value, that'd be amazing. But remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you'll never live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms, and have an amazing day.